You know the feeling. Your thumb moves on autopilot. Your mind feels checked out, yet you find it impossible to look away from the screen. We usually blame this on a chemical we've labeled as the pleasure molecule. But dopamine doesn't actually produce joy. It generates anticipation. It is the biological engine that drives us to search and seek. This is illustrated by a classic experiment where researchers engineered rats to have no dopamine in their brains. When food was placed in their mouths, they ate. But if placed just one body length away, the rat would starve. Without dopamine to bridge that physical gap, the brain loses the ability to initiate the work required to survive. Our ancestors had to exert immense effort, hunting or foraging, just to secure a tiny hit of that motivation chemical. Today, we trigger massive, continuous loops of anticipation directly from our phones, with no physical effort at all. This has trapped us in a cycle of wanting rather than liking. We have hijacked our own biological drive, leaving our actual, everyday lives feeling dull by comparison. One of the most significant findings in neuroscience over the last 75 years is that the exact same regions of the brain process both pleasure and pain. Visualize these regions as a balance scale in a constant tug-of-war. This baseline is homeostasis, keeping you stable. But a modern stimulus slams the scale toward pleasure. To compensate, your brain piles weights onto the pain side, overshooting until it tilts an equal amount toward pain. This biological overshoot is the physical reality behind the come down, the hangover, or the restless craving felt the moment you close a high dopamine app. Hitting that high once is a temporary deviation. But what happens when we bombard this delicate system with these triggers every single day without a break? To survive a constant flood of dopamine, the brain physically changes. It begins a process called downregulation, where the receptors that receive dopamine signals retract inward and disappear. Without those receptors, the entire pleasure-pain balance breaks, leaving the internal scale permanently slanted toward pain. This shifts our motivation. We no longer engage in habits to feel good, but consume just to lift that heavy scale back to a normal level, avoiding the pain. Because the brain has dismantled its own docks, low dopamine activities, like taking a walk or having a real-world conversation, fail to register. They don't provide enough weight to move the scale at all. Constant overstimulation eventually compromises the brain's mechanical ability to find interest in the ordinary world. When you feel that restless craving or anxiety after stopping a habit, it's important to recognize that your brain isn't broken. That pain is actually your biology executing its mandate to protect you from a constant surge of chemical overstimulation. Since willpower often fails against these ancient circuits, you may need self-binding, creating literal, physical barriers between yourself and the trigger, like locking a device away to prevent the automatic reflex to use it. This allows for a dopamine fast. By intentionally enduring the initial discomfort of withdrawal for about 30 days, you provide the brain with the silence it needs to begin healing. During this time, the brain rebuilds. It regenerates the missing receptor docks, pushing them out to catch signals it once ignored. With receptors restored, the internal scale repairs itself. The fulcrum snaps back to the center, returning your brain to a state of natural equilibrium. By respecting our brain's mechanical need for balance, we can step off the treadmill of constant seeking and reclaim our capacity to engage with the world around us.